What's up, y'all? Welcome back to P Hope, where the P stands for Ping and Puss Everywhere. They got me flustered. Okay, y'all, so the episode kicks off with Sean and Destiny. They are still at this restaurant, and the mama is still wanting to know about these questions, because at this point Destiny and her sister are back at this table. So Destiny is asking her own questions at this point. So she says, well, how old are you? And he said 45. And she was like, you told me you were 37. And then she said, well, how many kids do you have? And he said, what? She said, how many kids do you have? And he said, I have 6. So she was like, 6? You told me you had 2. This man said, I must have forgot. I don't remember, why I would tell you that in the email. Like, what? They go outside, and Destiny wants to know, how many other lies are you keeping? They do a little confessional for Destiny's sister, and Destiny is like, well, for a man to lie about his age, and for a man to lie about how many kids he have, like, we don't know anything about Sean at this point. He could be a fucking serial killer. Like, that's how the sister is thinking about it, and I'm almost agreeing with her at this point, because you left out very key points. And then when Destiny is asking you about this stuff, you just like, I don't even remember why I would have told you that. So anyway, Destiny is still grilling him once they get outside to the car. They're standing outside the car, and Destiny is like, well, how many she was like, well, are your 6 kids by the same person? And he was like, yes, of course. So she's like, well, why you couldn't just tell me that? He talked about, I don't know. Y'all, he was just standing there looking so dumb the whole time. He was seriously pissing me off, because y'all know that little baby ass mustache already takes me out. And then for him to not have no kind of valid answers for his lies, it was just ridiculous. So, so then she's asking him, have you ever been married? And he was like, no, I've never been married. And so she's just trying to figure out what was the purpose of all these lies. And he just is sitting there looking so dumb. He's just like, I don't know. I really don't know. Y'all, I'm sorry for this text message keep going off. But anyway, then we get over to Maurice and Jessica. They are headed to go see his 9-year-old daughter, Michaela. And y'all, when they get there, it is so sweet. But before that, on the ride over there, Maurice actually has to take his glasses off, and he gets a little emotional. He starts to cry a little bit. And so Jessica's like, what are you crying about? And he was like, man, these are just tears of joy. He was like, you don't understand how good it feels to be out in the free world. So Maurice was just really excited to be home, and he's even more excited to be going to see Michaela. So they get to Michaela's house. Michaela lives with her mother, and so Jessica lets us know before they get out the car that she has never had any real interaction with Michaela's mother, but she talks to Michaela all the time. So she has a relationship with the daughter, but of course not with the baby mama, which I don't really see an issue with that. So they get there, and they make it in the house. Well, first of all, when he gets out the car, of course Michaela runs. She flies to the car, and he picks her up, and he's still holding her like she's a little girl. And I thought it was so sweet, y'all, because Maurice and Michaela look like twins, honey. Twins. She's a beautiful little girl, and she has the same beautiful skin that her dad has. So I thought that little thing, that little segment was really cute and really touching. And then so they finally make it in the house, and so they, he's just still admiring how big, how tall she done got. And he's like, why you acting so shy, and da 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 da. And so he when he came in, he sat down and Jessica was still standing up. So then he was like, oh, you know, my bad, babe, you want to have a seat? So then she sat down and he stood up for a second, but then eventually he went over to the other sofa. So then, you know, they're just sitting there talking amongst each other, and it pans over to Jessica, and she is just sitting there looking like, you know, they wrap things up in the house. The visit is finally over with Michaela because they had FaceTime. I don't know if it was FaceTiming Maurice's brother or the baby mama's brother, but they FaceTime somebody's brother. Michaela had talked to him and the rest of the people that were in the house, and Maurice's baby mother was very cordial. You know, she let us know in the confessional that far as she knows, Maurice has never dated a white girl, number one, and number two, besides her, besides Jessica, she is the only other person that Maurice has actually ever been in a real committed relationship with. Maurice said that Michaela's mom and him were together for a year and a half, but you know, he was with the shit. So she told him, like, if you can't get your act together and if you can't, you know, be an upstanding citizen, then I'm gonna leave your ass. And he was still out here fucking around, and she did what she had to do and she left him. So, you know, it was just a situation where Michaela's mother wanted better for herself, as far as for her daughter, and as far as, you know, just in having a healthy relationship in general. So kudos to you, girl. That's first of all, because so many women stick around in situations like that, and it's like, I promise you, you can do better. You know, and I guess I'm saying that because I was in a very similar situation. And so, you know, don't feel like you'll never find anybody else, or, you know, I only want to be with the father of my kids and da 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 da. Like, girl, when you know better, you do better. So if you have that feeling, or you know, you got that sitting in the forefront of your mind, like, I know I shouldn't be with him, like, don't put that but on the end. I know I shouldn't be with him, but, like, nah, I know I shouldn't be with him, so let me take the proper steps to end this. So yeah, y'all, they doing all that chopping it up. Everybody's having a good time. They getting ready to go. So of course he gives all his hugs and says all his goodbyes. He hugs the baby mama, he hugs the kids, and it was an older lady in there, so I'm assuming that it could have been Michaela's grandmother. We're gonna make that be who that is. And so and then they step outside. Soon as Jessica get her pale ass in the car, I'm talking about, she's heated, y'all, heated. And he like, what the fuck wrong with you? So she's like, I was just invisible in there, and I can't believe that you couldn't even introduce me to nobody. I'm just sitting there looking stupid. I could have kept sitting in the car. And he's like, what are you talking about? This is Michaela's family, not my family. Because she's talking about I would have never brought you around my family and just kept you sitting in a corner. And he's like, well, it's not my family, so what do you want me to do? And I completely understood both sides of that stick, both ends of that candle. What she was asking for was, when she stepped in the house, for Maurice to say, hey everybody, this is my wife Jessica. You know, he can go elaborate on it and say, hey, we've been married XYZ amount of time. Or he could have just left it at, this is my wife Jessica. She could throw her hand up, and then she would have still been sitting over there in that corner doing what she was doing. So I really didn't understand why she made that big of a deal of it. But then, like I said, I understand Maurice's end too. Like, this is not his family. The only person that he's related to in this situation is Michaela. And Jessica already has a relationship with Michaela. So what's the problem? Like, where's all this pressure coming from? Now, if Maurice were to take Jessica around his family and act that same way, then you can give that kind of energy. But around the baby mama's family, like, girl, sit back. Like, I was confused with Jessica on that, but you know, it is what it is. So basically that ended up being Maurice telling her like, look, we don't need no drama, we don't need all this bullshit right now. Like, at the end of the day, you need to get out your feelings and we need to enjoy the rest of the day. So that's how that ended. Now we are back in the car with Chevelle, Quaylon, and Mama Quavo. Alright, they are on their way to a restaurant because the first thing that Quaylon wants to do, of course, is get something to eat. So they pull up at this little barbecue joint. Y'all, the barbecue joint looked like it was deserted. Like, maybe that was just some good editing and how they, you know, cropped everything out. But the restaurant looked empty as hell, and I don't know if that would have been the particular stop that I made. But either way it goes, that's where they ended up at. So it's barbecue. Quaylon is excited. He's ready to eat. And so him, Mama Quavo, and Chevelle end up having a conversation. Now, as they first got seated at the table, Mama Quavo said, you know, she wanted to go to the restroom. So she gets up and goes to do that. So while they're gone, Quaylon says that, you know, he's just so excited to be home and he's ready to see, don't let me fuck this baby name up, but I think it's Maya. That is Chevelle's daughter, the 5-year-old. So, you know, he said he's really excited and really ready to see little baby Maya. And he's ready to just spend time with her. And she's like, yes, I know, I know. And then at that point, Mama Quavo makes it back to the table. So when Mama Quavo gets to the table, she jumps right in and she wants to let Quaylon know that, you know, look, I know you're a grown man now and you can make your own decisions. But as for me, as your mom, to feel comfortable and feel safe, I want you as close to me as possible. So, you know, then Quaylon is just kind of looking like, yeah, nah, Mom, that ain't gonna happen. He's looking like that. But before he can even answer, here goes Chevelle ass talking about, no. Chevelle, you know you've been pissing me off this whole season. And you did good last week. I was really proud of you. But then you irritated my spirit just a little bit with the way that you answered the question before he could answer it. So she's like, no. And then he followed right up with, you know, like, nah, you know what I'm saying? I'm going wherever my lady is going. And she's not going to be comfortable moving out of Kansas City. So, you know, I got to do what's right for her. Y'all, I'm sorry. Hold on one second. Y'all, if I get one more phone call in the middle of this video, I'm going to lose my mind. So yeah, anyway, Mama Quavo is just really trying to, you know, pitch her sale to have her baby as close to her as possible, but neither one of them are having it. You know, he's saying that, you know, Kansas City is where he's going to be because that's where Chevelle is going to be. And so, what was she saying? So, you know, her final efforts to get him to come was for her saying, like, I really would like for you to come to Texas because the reason for me moving to Texas was pretty much so that you will not still be around the threat of old habits. But unfortunately, his rebuttal was the threat of old habits is anywhere that I go. But you've got to know and understand that I'm not 16 and 17 years old anymore. Like, I am now 29 and I now have enough sense to know not to be out here wilding and being a knucklehead and doing things that are going to get me another 12 years. So, you know, I feel that and I understand that, but I still hold steady to my whole point. And I'm still team Mama Quavo that he needs to be with his family and, you know, get acclimated to the free world before he goes off to live a life with Chevelle. But, you know, whatever. They said that they are ready to start their life in Kansas City, so I guess that's what they're gonna do. It pans to a little snippet of Chevelle and she's saying if she like it and she want it, she gonna get it. And that's just on period. No tampons, boo. Now we got Tyrese at the hotel getting dressed, honey. Tyrese is just got out the shower and he is putting his clothes on, y'all. Tyrese is putting on a 3-piece electric suit. And he said that he looking good. He's looking like a young man. He's smelling good. He lets us, you know, he shows us that he is slathering Suave deodorant all up and through his armpits. And he's ready. He's just ready for Shonda. And that's just on period. So he gets dressed. And before he goes out the hotel door, he picks up this bouquet of red roses and he starts to pluck the rose petals, and he puts rose petals all the way from the bed to the door of the hotel door. And that was really sweet. That was really sexy. And you know, he said that he is ready to just put it down, and he is gonna have Shonda smiling for days. He already know that, you know what I'm saying, he know what to do. That's that grown man action for your ass. And I said, okay then, do your thing, Tyrese, you know what I'm saying? So he's smoking his little cigarette while he riding. And so it shows him getting to his destination spot where he's waiting for Shonda to come out of the, I guess she's still at the precinct or whatever. And so he lets us know that she will be released in 3 minutes. She was supposed to get out at 1:30 and it was 1:27. So he's standing out there, he's smoking his cigarette. He like, man, my baby gonna be so happy. And he said that even though it has been 3 months, that's the length of time that he's known her. He's only known her for 3 months. He has already went to visit her a total of about 13 times. So I'm guessing that means that he has been there every weekend since the first time that he met her. That's probably about what that equals up to. And so, I mean, I guess that's not too creepy. And he said she's just really a genuine person, and he's just ready to start his life with her. And then it pans to the time again, and he's like, oh man, you know, like, shoot, it's 1:40 at this point. You know, she's supposed to have been out of that thing 10 minutes ago. And every minute that she's not walking out that door, that's minutes that she's not with me, because she has a time gap of 4 hours before she has to be at the halfway house. So that's why he's trying to make the moment so special, and that's why he had the rose petals and all of this, because she's not just coming home for good. She's actually transitioning over to a halfway house. So then after he says all that, now we're at 5 minutes after 2. So he's pissed, and the producers are asking him, like, you know, do you feel like she played you, bruh? And he said, hell no. Like, fuck is you talking about? And then it kind of shows him getting a little irritated or whatever, and then it just kind of pans off of him, because at this point he probably gonna be done went through a whole pack of cigarettes trying to figure out where the fuck Shonda is. Child, Destiny is in the car using all her fingers, toes, eyebrows, probably using a couple of teeth. She using everything she got to try to add up the age difference between her and Sean. And she's like, oh my God, we're almost 20 years apart. Because she is 27, I believe. She's 27 and he's 45. So, so she's like, we're almost 20 years apart. And he's like, you know, yeah, I know that. So she's just letting him know, like, look, I'm over these little lies that I just found out about at the restaurant, but if I find out anything else from this point, I'm gonna punch the shit out of you. Like, you know, your jawbone might be a little disconnected, because you should be comfortable to keep it a stack with me. She said, it's nothing that I will ever lie to you about, so it's no reason that you need to lie to me. And I don't care what it is. If you cheat, then say you cheat. And he's like, oh, I can go out and cheat? She's like, no, motherfucker, that's not what I mean. But what I'm saying is, if I confront you about something, or if I ask you about something, then you need to be man enough to just say what the fuck it is. And y'all, Sean's so slow. I still don't think that he was really processing what Destiny was saying, but he nodded his head as if he understood. So they pull up to their hotel. They get to the room, and as soon as he opens the door, Destiny is highly impressed. She is highly impressed. So when you walk in, it had the jacuzzi sitting right there in the front, and then the bed, and it really didn't show the rest of the room. But listen, it didn't look like that damn prison cell. So Destiny gave Sean the thumbs up. She went and jumped on the bed, and she said that it felt so good to just be laying on a real bed. Like, she just didn't know how to act. And I'm sure that she probably was not putting on for the camera at that point. Like, it probably really did feel good to her. And so she said she's just ready to go take a shower and get this night going. And she was like, we're gonna have fun in this bed tonight, baby. She said they was finna do some things in that bed. And so then it shows Sean, and Sean was like, you know, I think that Destiny is gonna be a really wild lover. You know, I can see that she's just gonna be a wild lover. And she's talking about how she wants to tie me up, put me in handcuffs, and I'm gonna let her, and I'm gonna give it to her hard, and I'm gonna give it to her anywhere and everywhere that she wants it. Y'all, I was a little taken aback. I'm not even gonna lie, because first of all, I don't see Sean giving it to nobody hard. That's first of all. And second of all, I just can't find the rhythm of it all. Maybe that's just me being, you know, slightly racist. Just, it's accidental. I love all people, but I just cannot make my imagination stretch to see that Sean is about to put it down. Moving on. So Destiny goes to the shower. She's ready to go ahead and wash her ass so that she could be booed up for the night. And when she gets out the shower, Sean has these flowers, you know, laid out over the jacuzzi, and she's like, oh, you know, how sweet, how cute. And then she looks over at the bed, and he has these same flowers arranged in the shape of a heart. But y'all, I'ma tell now, Sean, you did that. You know, I really don't fuck with you like that, but that flower heart, you did it for me. You did it for me, Sean, with that. It was really pretty, y'all. It was like it had these really long green stems on it, and then I don't know if they were just pink roses, but anyway, the petals on the flower was pink, and how he arranged it, it was just beautiful. And then he had some I think it was red roses in the middle, but either way, you definitely get a couple of brownie points from me for that flower arrangement, Sean. Now we are back to Scott. Scott is still dealing with the prison system. So he has Brenda and Molly Grace come over so that they can have a conference call to figure out why the fuck Lindsay never got off the plane. They do a confessional for Miss Brenda, and she said that, you know, little Molly Grace, who is Lindsay's daughter, was just really heartbroken that she did not get to see her mom the night before, you know, because she really had high hopes and expectations of her mom being released. So she lets us know that Molly Grace cried for about 2 hours, and so she was just busy trying to contain her emotions because she had to be there for Lindsay's daughter. And but she said that, you know, that might not necessarily be the case today, depending on the answers that they find out, because, you know, she can only contain her emotions for so long. So they're on the phone with these officers, and Scott is trying to get as much information as he can get. And so, y'all, he really was doing his best to try to figure out what is going on with Lindsay and where in the hell is she. And he was really getting some asshole officers, and I felt bad for all of them at that point, because it's like you're genuinely trying to get information and figure out where your loved one is, but the correctional facility is giving you a hard time and not telling you anything, which I'm sure probably under some guidelines they're not allowed to give out that type of information. So I mean, I understood both sides of it, but it really was irritating. And so they had that, but they were able to speak with Lindsay's caseworker. And so when they got a chance to speak to the caseworker, he could not give much information either, but he did let them know that Lindsay is still incarcerated, and that the only way that they will figure out why she was not released will have to be when Lindsay gets in contact with one of them. That's something that the actual inmate has to share with whomever they choose to share it with. So yeah, that's what we got from that. It goes back to Chevelle and Quaylin, honey. Now they're done eating and they are on their way to a restaurant. No, I'm tripping. They are on their way to a hotel, because I told y'all it was 3 couples in this episode that got a hotel. And so Chevelle and Quaylin was our last couple to get a hotel room. And so, you know, of course, the 2 lovebirds cannot wait to get it in. But you got Mama Quavo with you, so what you gonna do? So Chevelle said, well, look, sis, I got all the answers for that. Chevelle called an Uber to come and pick up Mama Quavo and take her to her homegirl house. So Mama Quavo went to go spend some time with her homegirl, while Quaylin spent some time in that puss, okay? And so while Mama Quavo is downstairs in the lobby waiting on the Uber to arrive, of course Quaylin waits with her, and you know, they're just kind of having mother-son talk, and she's just telling him to have fun and be safe, and you know, call me and things of that nature, this, that, and the third. And so meanwhile, back at upstairs, Chevelle is laying the room out like a fucking R. Kelly video. You understand what I'm saying? She got candles, she got rose petals, she got lingerie, honey. She got her robe on. I'm not sure if she had time to take a shower that quick, but me personally, I would have just went ahead and showered up. You know what I'm saying? Or maybe she was trying to get the room set up, and then she'll just, you know, run and hop in there and get it going, because I don't want your first experience of me to be smelling like French fries and pork ribs. I want to, you know, I want my vibe to match the vibe of the room, if you underdig what I'm saying. So I just hope she washed her ass. That's all, you know. Just, these are just the kind of things that I think about, but whatever. Quaylin, of course, has to let us know that it's been 12 years. It's been 12 years. So y'all know I'm ready to tear that ass up. So, and I am ready for him to get a little puss. I really am. And I hope that, you know, he was nobody's, you know what? I'm not even gonna put that out there. I'm not even gonna put that out there. I'm just excited for you. I am glad that you get to be with the one that you love, and I hope that it is everything that you want it to be. Come on with that WAP. Is that, you know, him and Chevelle have had hours upon hours of phone sex, and so with that being said, he is ready for the real deal, and he wants to see if she's really about all this shit that she been saying on this phone. So tonight is the night to show and prove, Chevelle. So, you know, while you lighting all these candles and got all these rose petals and shit, you better have that thing together as well. You better have that mouth together. Whatever you've been telling this man, you better make his dreams come true. So he finally gets up to the room, and he's as well, he is impressed with what he sees. He's like, oh man, you know, this is wonderful, because of course when she greeted him at the door, she got her robe on. So he like, oh, you know what I'm saying, you ain't wasting no time, my kind of girl. And so he's impressed with everything. So he gets on the bed, and he's like, shit, all this gotta go. He take his shirt off, and y'all, he is tatted everywhere. His body just looks like a mural downtown somewhere, but it looks really, really nice on him. You know, so he got his shirt off, and he goes to get on the bed, and she starts giving him a massage. And I just kind of started thinking the same thing about him as well. I'm like, you know, I know you probably took a shower in the little prison stall this morning because you knew you were coming home, but you know, what if I decided that I wanted to take a trip down below? I don't trust prison soap. I don't like it. So she starts giving Quaylen a massage, and he's like, oh my god. He instantly threw his glasses off, and you know, he wanted to get butt naked right then, but he did remember that production was still in the room with him, so he behaved himself. He let Chevelle know that she has hands of a goddess, and that, you know, the massage was feeling great. He flips over, they start kissing, and then so I'm pretty sure that the fire had already started to build up at that point. And he looked over at production, and he was like, Sabra, fuck y'all still doing in here? Like, you see what the fuck going on? So production has to leave, and he's like, look, just know I'm finna tear that ass up. I'm finna tear that ass up. Like, Chevelle lets us know that Quaylen is just fine as a fool, and that she definitely wants him to be her husband, and she also wants him to be the father of her kids. So yeah, they are still ready to run off in the freaking sunset. We are back to Maurice and Jessica. Now we are at Maurice's cousin's house. That is where Maurice will be staying until his paperwork gets transferred to Las Vegas so that he can go live with his wife. Now Jessica is still sitting there with Maurice at this time as well, and she still got that same uncomfortable look on her face. So at this point, Jessica is giving me vibes that you are just ready to have Maurice in your environment, meaning that, you know, you already know your friends and your family will be warm and welcoming to Maurice, and he needs to adapt to that, versus you trying to learn and understand how his family is, and you know, and how they act. And so I was still irritated with Jessica. I was irritated with her this whole episode, because I feel like, even though they did not show it, I feel like he did the right thing when they went into the cousin's house. I feel like he probably said, y'all, this is my wife Jessica, you know, she's gonna be hanging out with me today or doing whatever, you know. I'm pretty sure he did the correct introduction, because again, this is his family and not Michaela's family. And so she's still just sitting there with that same dumbass look on her face, and I'm just like, Jessica, whatever. Like, she was looking like it stank in there. That was the vibe that she was giving me, like her skin was crawling. And so the cousin is just talking to Maurice about, you know, how if you got the opportunity to go, like, you need to just go, because it ain't no good out here. He's like, shit, I be having to go to my parole officer my damn self, and I be dreading that shit. Like, nobody wants to go through that. And Maurice is like, yeah, you know, I'm just ready to go. And so the cousin was like, you want me to show you some of the homies that ain't with us no more? And he's like, you know, hell yeah, I want to see it. So this man pulls out 5 different obituaries of the homeboys that Maurice used to kick it with before he got incarcerated. And you know, Maurice is just in disbelief that so many of his homies are gone. Like, he just can't believe it. And but you know, that's just how it is out there. And so then Maurice and Jessica walk to the store. They go to the store. Well, it looked like they walked. They might have drove. No, they did. They drove to the store. So they was like, okay. So after that was, you know, it was kind of emotional or whatever. So they drive to the store. As they're coming out of the store, a car drives by and says, "Hey, where you from, homie? This my hood, bruh." And Maurice is like, "What? Did you hear that?" And then he repeats what the man said. But see, this is where I feel like the bullshit come in at. Because what the hell boom mics, what the hell kind of top of the line shit do we TV have that would be able to hear somebody saying that in a car riding by? Like, I feel like that was some old squeezed in, edited, voiceover type of shit. But if y'all say it happened, y'all say it happened. Okay. So anyway, he like, well, see, that's that kind of shit that I'm talking about. Like, man, shit just crazy. Like, niggas is wild out here, and they really will shoot your ass for nothing. And that was all that they showed of Maurice and Jessica. And last, it goes back to Sean and Destiny. We have Sean coming back in the room. He had stepped out to go get them a cup of coffee. He brings Jessica, I said Jessica. He brings Destiny her cup of coffee. And she says that she slept well. And he was like, well, yeah, you know, I guess you did. Like, you was all over the bed. And she's like, well, you know, shit, you know, it is what it is. I ain't been in the bed in a while. And then she was like, but what did I wake up to? I wake up to you trying to take a picture of me while I'm sleeping. And then she made a hand gesture, like, you know, like she tried to slap the phone out of his hand, but it showed us a picture that he obviously got. So he got a snapshot of her sucking her thumb. And so, honey, he probably feel like the man when he walked through, because he had her sucking her thumb. Destiny said that, you know, she had fun last night. She said that Sean ass put it down. And then it shows Sean in the confessional. And he said, what did Sean say in the confessional? Oh, he wanted us to know that, you know what I'm saying, it all started in the hot tub. Because, you know, fuck, well, why else would I pay for a hot tub if that's where it started? So they started out in the hot tub, then it moved over to the bed, and then, you know, they was just getting it in everywhere. So they have christened the whole hotel room at this point. And both of them said that they had a really good time, and that it was, Sean said that it was an explosion. And that, you know, he will have sex with other women, but he's never felt this type of explosion and actually making love to anybody like he has to Destiny. And Destiny wanted to let us know that that is the best sex that she has ever had. And I said, it kind of sounds like you putting on for the gram, but I'm gonna mind my business. If that's the best sex you ever had, then that's the best sex you ever had. Now, Destiny also took the time to let us know that, you know, while Sean running around here lying, she got a couple secrets that he may never find out about his damn self. Well, if he don't watch the show, he probably won't. But she let us know that she ain't just tatted up. She's tatted up because these are the different women that she has been with in her life. Like, you know, yes, she loves Sean and that'll always be her man. But, you know, she dated several women while she was incarcerated. And she doesn't plan on stopping dating women anytime soon. You know, Sean is not stopping that. So she let us know. She turned into, y'all, Destiny turned into DMX real quick, because when she opened up the front of her dress, she had a big ass name right here that said Felicia. And then on her shoulder, it was Monica. And I mean, the list just went on. It was Keisha, Tisha, Shonda, Aisha. And I said, and so she said she had one on her foot, her arm, her chest. And she said that the list is not going to stop there. It's going to be plenty of more women on her body before it's all said and done. So, I don't know what to tell y'all. And I don't know what to tell Sean either. But, so, they're having a serious discussion in the bed, because Sean is trying to explain to Destiny that, yes, you know, Vegas is fun and exciting and it's this and it's that, but I don't want you to get out of hand with your drinking, because you have 17 days until your first court date, and I still have $50,000 on the line if you don't make it to this court date. So Destiny immediately gets offended, and she's like, look, I done told you a million times I got this under control. I know that it's Vegas, and we're not about to sit around like no bump on the log. We're going out. We're going to have fun. I'm going to do what the fuck I want to do. And that's just that on that. So, I don't know what else you want me to tell you. Like, I'm going to handle my business, but I'm still going to go out and have fun. And you, them $50,000 or nobody else is going to stop me. And she was staring at Sean like, if you try to stop me, you will not have them dentures in the front of your mouth. Because y'all, I figured out that that's what it is. That is another thing that's bothering me about Sean. Is this, that the fact that you have this little bitty mustache, but then you have these falsies in the top of your mouth that don't necessarily fit correctly. And so it's making him hold his mouth just real tight. It makes him hold his mouth real tight. So I hate it. But, you know, as long as Destiny loves it, that's none of my business. So, y'all, that was season 4, episode 5, Love After Lockup. If you enjoyed this review, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. As always, you know, I want you to be happy, be healthy, be safe. This is your girl P Hope. Until the next video, I love you so much.